Hello, I'm pleased to speak with you all today. My name is Joanne Donovan. I'm Chief Medical Officer at Edgewise Therapeutics, and we are a company that's focused on muscle disease. Our goal is to develop a novel therapeutic that is designed to protect muscle in Becker and Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Now I'm going to show you a slide which has lots of small print on it. And the most important thing about it is that I'm going to talk about things that may happen in the future. And importantly, sevasemten or EDG 5506 is an investigational agent and it's not approved in any territory. Edgewise has been around since 2017, and we are focused on discovering new medicines to improve the lives of people that are facing serious muscle diseases. We are focused on muscle-targeted therapies for muscular dystrophies, and we're really the only company that is looking at contraction-induced injury, which is the fundamental issue in Duchenne and Becker muscular dystrophy. What our goal is that the investigational agent sevasemten, which is taken as a daily oral pill, can be used alone or in combination with other therapies, regardless of an individual's mutation. Now, we have been looking at sevasemten for several years now. The first step in clinical development is to go into a phase 1 study in healthy adults. We also looked at individuals with Becker muscular dystrophy, and we followed that with the ARCH study, which is an open label study in Becker muscular dystrophy. That led to a phase 2 study, which we shared results with the public last December. We shared the results of the ARCH study last year as well. And we currently have ongoing a pivotal cohort in adults with Becker muscular dystrophy. That is a cohort that is designed to be able to take to the FDA for registration. So it's kind of the last step in development. Patients who have been in any of these Becker studies are eligible to go into an open label extension, MESA study, that looks at the longer term effects of sevasemten on safety, biomarkers, and function. So how does it work long term? We also have a program in Duchenne muscular dystrophy. The LYNX study and the FOX study are phase 2 studies to determine an appropriate dose. And those are in children with Duchenne on steroids, on exon skipping therapies that are approved. And the FOX study is a phase 2 study in boys that have previously been on gene therapy. We also did a pilot study called DUNE, which looked at individuals with Becker, with limb-girdle muscular dystrophy 2I, or Mercadal disease. And that was really to look at the effects of sevasemten on exercise, on contraction-induced injury. So our approach is based on the idea that some skeletal muscle fibers, called fast muscle fibers, are more susceptible to damage due to the lack of functional dystrophin. And sevasemten is designed to protect those fibers. Of course, we've looked in animal models, and there has been protection with sevasemten and prevention of long-term development of damage. And in these initial trials that I mentioned, we've seen decreases in biomarkers of muscle damage, and we've shown trends towards functional improvement in comparison to the natural history of progression in Becker. Now I'm going to show you this video of how muscles work. So,
how muscles work and why they sometimes don't. Our muscles do a lot of work for us. We all know they make movement possible. Every muscle is made of thousands of long strands that contract, creating movement in the body. These contractions put a strain on the system, leading to little tears in the muscle fibers. This is called contraction-induced injury, and it happens to everybody. It's why people can feel sore after exercising. Protecting muscles from too much injury is where certain proteins, including dystrophin, have a vital role to play. Ah, yes, there he is. Look at him go. These proteins connect our muscle fibers together so that strain on muscles is spread evenly when the muscle contracts, similar to threads in a rope working together to strengthen and stabilize the muscle. When muscles are working properly, tearing is minimal and repair is quick. Soon the damaged muscle is back online, doing what it needs to do. Sometimes key parts of the muscle are not working, so the muscle is susceptible to damage from muscle contraction. We see this in muscular dystrophy, a group of diseases that includes Becker and Duchenne muscular dystrophy. In these diseases, dystrophin is only partially functioning, as seen in people living with Becker. Oh, yes. Or totally absent, as seen in people living with Duchenne. That means that when muscles contract, force from the contraction isn't spread out over the muscle, which can damage the muscle fibers. In contrast, in fully functioning muscles, muscle contraction doesn't cause excessive injury. But in people with Becker and Duchenne, damage can be more frequent and severe when their muscles are contracting. The muscle membrane can become leaky and let unwanted visitors like calcium inside the muscle cell, causing a complete fiber breakdown. Over time, the muscle gets inflamed, and instead of being able to repair itself, scar tissue and fat are laid down. When this happens, we often see muscles swelling at first from the stress and then shrinking as they become less effective and are used less. This muscle wasting is also called atrophy. Damaged muscle fibers don't do their job and are weak, which puts more strain on the remaining fibers whenever they contract, resulting in a cycle of continued muscle damage. Over time, the impact of muscle damage caused by contraction in Becker and Duchenne causes loss of muscle and therefore loss of strength and function. Moving around becomes harder. Standing up and walking become a challenge or sometimes impossible, and many people need a mobility device to get around. Although there's no cure for Becker or Duchenne today, medical researchers are looking for treatments with urgency and focus.
Protecting muscle is a key goal in muscular dystrophy research, and there are many ideas being explored to protect muscle from injury caused by muscle contraction and to preserve function, to improve the lives of those with Becker and Duchenne muscular dystrophy. In the meantime, the progression of Becker and Duchenne can be best managed through working with your care team to identify options for protecting and preserving muscles. Your doctor and care team can help you monitor your disease or that of your child and build the most effective plan to manage it.
So that's on our website, and we wanted to share that with you. So you saw how healthy muscle is different than dystrophic muscle, and it causes mechanical stress, fiber breakdown. So here's a muscle from an MDX mouse, which is the mouse model for muscular dystrophy. It's contracting on the left here at 100% without EDG 5506 sevasemten. And you can actually see the what you saw pictorially in the cartoon. These fibers are showing visible signs of damage. And you could see molecularly that damage if you looked at it that way as well. On the other hand, with sevasemten, the muscle's contracting here. It's doing what it's supposed to do, but it's not sustaining that damage. And that's what we are trying to do in human muscles. So Grand Canyon study is the pivotal study in Becker, and it is an 18-month study in which we are enrolling patients. We have periodic visits looking at functional assessments, blood tests, MRI in men aged 18 to 50 who have Becker and are ambulatory and meet certain functional criteria. We're looking at time function tests, other assessments, patient-reported outcomes, and that study is fully enrolled, and we'll have the results in towards the end of 2026. In Duchenne, we have, as I said, the LINK study. It includes a small number of boys that are not treated with steroids, mostly boys that are treated with steroids, as well as other dystrophin and non-dystrophin therapies. They are between 4 and 9, and that study is ongoing. The FOX study looks at boys that are between the ages of 6 and 14. Those studies, by the way, have all been extended beyond the 1-year point. So they're continuing in the open label part of the study. So to summarize, sevasemten, it's being developed for Becker and Duchenne to preserve and improve function, to protect the muscle, the most susceptible muscle fibers used alone or in combination. And we are working with the community to understand the barriers to participating in clinical trials and to really be focused on developing patient-centric trials. We have a concierge service to provide support, expenses, to ease the participation burden, and have a lot of sites for that reason as well. So lastly, thank you for taking the time to listen. We can be found on many places on the internet, and always happy to answer questions and respond to you. So thank you so much for all you do. It is the patients who participate in these studies and the families. It's a burden, we know, to participate in these studies, but they really make things move forward, hopefully, for the community. So thank you.